.com app.
Now, Stephen Jones of G-Bag yesterday gave injury updates. Sounds like Tyron is very close to return against the Eagles. Cole Beasley shouldn't be a problem. Very outside chance that Travis Frederick plays again for the Cowboys this season. That's not surprising. And when it comes to Sean Lee, might have a chance. We'll ask Jerry at 8:30. But the question is, Ralph, when he is healthy enough to return and play, how do they make this work? Here are the numbers. Leighton Vander Esch leads the NFL in solo tackles. I keep hearing all these insiders, well, we'll just work him in a rotation. We'll just rotate him like we did earlier in the year. My counter to that is Leighton Vander Esch was not playing like this earlier in the year. Can't take this guy off the field. You just can't do it. He's making plays in open space. He's tackling everybody. He's making pass breakups. He's defending Alvin Kamara out in the flat. So, the apples, it's not apples to apples anymore. This is different. Vander Esch has elevated his game, in my opinion, over these past few weeks compared to earlier in the season when he was getting a feel for things. The Cowboys last year, without Sean Lee, were 1-4. The defense used to fall apart with him gone. 8-3 with him last year. This season, without him, 6-1. Jerry Jones said if we have two linebackers like Jalen and Vander Esch getting 60 snaps a game, with three, then we should get about 40 snaps a game. These are the facts. These are the numbers. What do you do?
I do nothing. Who's better in pass coverage right now, Leighton Vander Esch or Sean Lee?
Vander Esch.
There you go. What kind of a league is it? A running league or a passing league?
Passing league.
There you go. There's your answer. I just solved it for you in 2 seconds. So, Sean Lee, I mean, it's Romo Dak. I mean, Sean Lee he is a depth guy now. When Leighton Vander Esch needs to come off the field or Jalen Smith needs to come out, he can play the position. He's smart enough. He can play the position in that linebacking core. When one of those guys needs to come off the field, then he goes in. That's it. When they do three linebackers, those rare times in the world nowadays where somebody's not running a nickel, then Sean Lee's got a spot. But he doesn't have a spot over Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith. He doesn't have one. When a player needs a break, he's the perfect depth guy, but he just doesn't have a spot. I hate to say it, but it's just what,
do we agree?
It's a young man's game, and Sean's not young.
Do we agree that Sean Lee, when healthy, can produce at a Pro Bowl level still?
Sure.
Okay.
But so can the other guys. And they're younger, and they're probably faster at this point. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You don't, he can still produce at a Pro Bowl level. And, the reality is that Sean Lee's not here next year.
Right.
And if he's not going to be here next year, what's the point of him being here now? He's a depth guy.
Well, yeah, you can have a point for him here now.
No, he's just for depth. He gives a guy a rest.
You need special teamers.
He's not. If you put Sean Lee on special teams.
I agree with you in the formula, though. Sean Lee cannot start. It has to be Jalen. It has to be Vander Esch. And then you spell those guys when need be.
Yeah,
and he can be a lot of TV shots over there on the bench. I still believe. I love the intelligence. I have no doubt that he's helped in terms of coaching these guys. And I think he can still run around at a Pro Bowl level and play when healthy. But you cannot take Leighton Vander Esch off the field.
No, and maybe you want to move Sean Lee, to Jalen Smith's spot. And you're saying, okay, Jalen hasn't played 16 games, at a high level ever, right? Because, at a high level. He played last year, he played quite a bit of games. But it wasn't necessarily at a high level the entire time.
Right.
Where he played 70 snaps a game.
Yeah.
Jalen Smith right now, if you go look at the snap count, all right, Jalen Smith's snap count is absurdly high. He's playing 95% of the defensive snaps.
Yeah.
Okay, for comparison, Byron's playing 99.5, but Leighton Vander Esch playing 74.
Broadest Texas said, "What about using Jalen Smith as a blitzer? What about just moving Vander Esch to the strong side and replacing Damian Wilson?"
I'm okay with that. There's a way to get all three of them on.
Yeah,
there's a way to get all three of them on. But I would not upset what they have right now.
I agree.
But Broadus is right. If there's a way to get all three of the guys on the field, that's the number. That'd be the number one option. But if you move Leighton, does that impact his ability? Like, does it take away from what he's able to do? I mean, that's, I don't know.
And how often do you want three linebackers on the field?
Right.
Well, the offense dictates that.
Yeah, team lines up 4 wide. You don't want three linebackers on the field. So, to even talk about this in terms of, like, how do we avoid...
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, how do we avoid a negative? This is an incredible positive for the Cowboys. Like, there's nothing... Obviously, Leighton Vander Esch is playing at an extremely high level, but you're telling me that on occasion he might not have the wind knocked out of him?
Yeah.
That he might not have to go from one sideline to the other on 2 consecutive plays, and he might need a break? Now, if Sean Lee doesn't get his starting spot back when he's healthy enough, but I think there's also a case to be made for at least 2 games. Anything you do to hold Sean back can be couched as, look, we're preserving you for the playoff run. So I don't think, and as much of a team guy as he is, as well as all 3 of them are, I don't think any one of them would be overly upset or make an issue of it publicly that they're not getting the playing time they expected. So
no one's going to say anything.
It can only be a positive. And if we're talking about like what we need to do with Charlie, you don't need to do anything. Just keep him rolling out there, and you'll roll him out there several plays in a game. It won't be as much as he used to.
He's not starting.
He's not going to start. And Leighton's probably not going to get, and Jalen's not going to get as much work as he did. All of them are going to get a little bit less, but I think in the long run, that should all be counted as a positive for the Cowboys if we want them to make an extended run into January and February.
I don't know that Jalen's changes all that much at all. He's been playing 95% of the snaps all year. These are his snap percentages by game. 92.5, 84, 87, 96, 99, 97, 97, 90.
Well, and those 82 and 84 is like kind of what I'm thinking about. I mean, 80, 75, that should be the range that all 3 of them are in if they're all healthy and playing as well as they are. I think early on, Jalen was the opposite guy of Sean, and they didn't know what they had in Vander Esch entirely. Now they do. So all those are massive positives for the Cowboys.